Here we have some great games, but we can't help but feel that they could have been better. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 games that came out on the wrong console. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at games that debuted on consoles that alienated their audiences or longtime fans, had hardware limitations, or were just an odd choice in general.
And what is it that you came to fetch, my dear?
Real funny.
Number 10, Kameo, Elements of Power, Xbox 360. Originally a launch title for the system, Rare's fantasy platformer began life destined for the N64, before being announced for the GameCube. Then Microsoft bought out Rare, and the game was reworked for the original Xbox before finally ending up on the 360. In that time, many changes from the original concept were made, and the graphics were updated to add more detail. While it proved popular with critics upon release, Kameo's mix of cartoony Rare visuals and Nintendo-like gameplay made it difficult to find a target audience on a console synonymous with first-person shooters and games with more mature content. Number 9, Alien vs. Predator, Atari Jaguar. The Jaguar was infamous for being hard to program games for, having lackluster software and a controller that was, compensating for something. Despite all of that and delays of its own release, this FPS was the real deal. Not only was it heralded for having the Predator, alien xenomorphs, and colonial marine characters that had different gameplay experiences, but it also had a decent-looking 3D engine for the time. Plus, AVP was scary in a good horror movie kind of way. Being a console exclusive to the poor-selling Jaguar, however, meant that the game would go down as a semi-obscure, underappreciated gem. Number 8, Mega Man 6, Nintendo Entertainment System. The Mega Man franchise has meant a lot to the NES in its heyday, but by the time the 6th installment of the Blue Bomber series debuted, the Super Nintendo took priority. Many of Mega Man's 8-bit contemporaries, like Mario and Link, had made the jump to the SNES and left him behind. What makes this decision even more perplexing is that Mega Man X had just released on the SNES a few months prior, making this decision to release a game on a system 3 years out of date very ill-advised. Fortunately, Capcom learned from their mistake and released Mega Man 7 on the SNES the following year. Number 7, Bayonetta 2, Wii U.
At least your lot still knows how to make an end.
The situation with this game's inclusion on this list is kinda frustrating. Bayonetta was a massive hit on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, with fans eager for a sequel. They got one, but here's the catch. With Sega running into financial difficulties, Platinum Games had to partner with Nintendo to continue making Bayonetta 2. Thus, the game became a console exclusive for the Wii U. Bayonetta 2 is a phenomenal game, but many PS3 and Xbox 360 fans were upset that they could not get a copy of the game for their chosen console, and sales suffered as a result. Without Nintendo's help, however, producer Atsushi Inaba stated that Bayonetta 2 wouldn't exist at all.
I'm not one for pets who don't listen to their masters.
Number 6, Monster Hunter Tri, Wii. Monster Hunter Tri was the game that changed the series' trajectory forever. Nope, this isn't about the water levels, those sank like a stone and never resurfaced. From this game forward, the RPG series became exclusive to Nintendo's home and handheld consoles. Prior to Tri's Wii debut, the series was exclusively released on Sony's PlayStation 2 and PlayStation Portable devices, with Tri originally set to launch on the PS3. While Capcom cites expensive production costs for the Switch, and the game selling really well, many fans felt that the weaker power of the Wii severely held back the franchise's full potential. While spin-off Monster Hunter games still get released on other consoles in Japan, for the main series after Tri, Capcom has yet to look back. Number 5, Jet Force Gemini, Nintendo 64. Rare's amazing space adventure was a critical and cult success, in part because of how ambitious the title was. Packed with detailed visuals for its time and an orchestral soundtrack, the game has been known to become sluggish and experience issues maintaining its optimal frame rate. Around this time, the N64 had the expansion pack that would boost your system's RAM. Why Rare didn't use it for Gemini, especially when the pack first appeared on their other title, Donkey Kong 64, is kind of a mystery. Also, due to the N64's limited cartridge size, the second half of the game includes an excessive amount of backtracking, and some areas, like the abandoned space station, feel kind of incomplete. Perhaps it would have been better to wait for the GameCube for this one? Number 4, Halo Wars, Xbox 360.
It's an energy shield that they can deploy on the planet.
Yes, Captain. We can't see through it. The Covenant are up to something.
Agreed.
It's a real-time strategy game on a console. Nope, that's pretty much the only thing you need to know. Real-time strategy games work on the PC because you need the tracking precision of a mouse to get your units to a specific location, while a keyboard allows you to set a huge amount of shortcuts to manage the large battlefield a lot easier.
Gunner, researched.
Without the precision of both of these control schemes, the gameplay for Halo Wars is severely hindered. And while the title uses very simplified controls and beautiful series standard cutscenes to entice the players, the game doesn't give as many options that hardcore fans of PC-based RTS games crave. For the sequel, Microsoft did release the game on PC at the same time as the Xbox One, but unfortunately, the port committed the cardinal PC gaming sin of retaining the console version's restrictions.
That was a taste of our power, humans. If you want more, I'll be waiting.
Number 3, Super Mario 64 DS, Nintendo DS. The N64 version was a revolutionary title designed to demonstrate what 3D games were capable of. And while this DS port does have more content and the ability to play as Yoshi, Luigi, and Wario, the one glaring oversight about putting this game on the handheld console is the absence of an analog stick. Other controls are implemented in its place, but they aren't simple to use. The DS's D-pad requires the Y button to be pressed to run and is not as precise, while the touchscreen is even more imprecise, making the controls as a whole difficult to adapt to and just kind of a pain to use. The gaming community loves challenging gameplay, but not challenging controls. Number 2, Resident Evil Revelations, Nintendo 3DS.
This is one wake-up call, which was long overdue. Fine work.
At our number 2 spot is the second Resident Evil game to come out on the Nintendo 3DS. Despite being considered a financial success and one of the best games to come out for the 3DS, at least early on, it didn't sell enough to fully offset Capcom's production costs. In addition, console and PC gamers were left out in the dust until over a year later.
I'll go back to HQ, take charge of the search and rescue.
While it's unclear if sales were the reason that Revelations 2 was released for the PlayStation, Xbox, and the PC, there was definitely no 3DS version, and that's certainly telling.
We can clean up this mess.
I guess you've thought of everything.
Number 1, Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric, Wii U.
Quite peaceful.
Unlike other entries on this list, which were only mildly hindered by the choice of system, this case was a complete disaster. Sonic Boom was set to be developed for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One using Crytek's CryEngine 3. However, things got complicated when Sega signed an exclusivity deal with Nintendo, forcing developer Big Red Button to shift production to the Wii U.
I'm the only one who can handle this area. Thanks, though.
Rise of Lyric saw a noticeable graphical downgrade on the console, but worst yet, because CryEngine 3 was not designed to be compatible with the Wii U, the Switch caused many performance problems, including frame rate issues and lots of glitches. The result, this was arguably the worst Sonic game since Sonic 06, and that's saying something.
Did I leave anything out?
Yeah, you forgot the part where it was all Sonic's fault. I was saving you!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.